Welcome back to Love and Meaning, a podcast with myself, your host, Christelle Robinson-Tiedemann. Spirituality looks like so many things, but I'm going to say one thing that it is not. And it is not freaking perfection. So I'm far from perfect. I don't know about you guys, but if you've met a perfect person, please introduce me. I would love to ask them a lot of questions. So I kind of want to just kind of level the playing field or just put it out there. I don't even know. I might take this episode down, okay? But this is what's on my heart and this is what I'm feeling right now. I just feel like there is so much perfectionizing in the spiritual community, And I think that kind of is intimidating to a lot of people. I'm trying to think if it was intimidating to me in the beginning. Yes. Yes, it was. I'm definitely attracted to happiness. Okay. So I love happiness and high frequency feelings and excitement and celebration and stuff like that. I love that. But the more and more and more I got into this community, one of the things I started to get caught into was this kind of idea like, if I'm not feeling good all the time, then I'm doing something wrong. We need to, if I have perpetuated that in any way in the past, I apologize. So for anyone that thinks that I may have perpetuated that, I would like to apologize right now because I don't think I have, but if I have, this is not life. This is not life. That's not what it's like. We all have bad days. We all have good days. Okay. I cry a lot. I cry a lot. Like I have feelings and sometimes they need to be felt. Okay. No, all the time they need to be felt. But sometimes it's just like I have a day. I just have a day and it's like, bleh. And I'm not saying that I want to necessarily post my worst day ever, but I don't need to over fluff things. Something happened in a master class that I was in, and someone had asked the coach who was teaching the class, so what was she teaching about? It was something about emotional mastery. And she asked, like, oh, so you just like feel good all the time? And she literally responded, yes. Yeah, I do. Like I've gotten to this place where it's like I just feel good all the time. No, you don't. No, you don't. You definitely don't, because it's impossible. So why are we going to teach some people something that's impossible? I'm just going to put it out there. And I'll also say there are amazing, amazing, amazing coaches, teachers, mentors out there that aren't doing that, right? But I want to just put it out there. All of your feelings are welcome. All of your feelings are welcome and they're valid and they're welcome here. So bring them, okay? You can manifest your most amazing, magnificent life and have terrible days and have bad feelings and be angry and get sad and get jealous and get all the things. I get all the things and my life is freaking great. So I'm just going to put that out there. I feel like there is somebody out there that needs to hear this. One of my most favorite mentors out there is Jess Fenton, and she has a podcast called Spiritualized, and she focuses very much. I highly recommend everybody listen to that. Oh, that will level you up. Her episodes are like portals, or like codes to your soul. Sometimes I don't even understand the words that she's saying, but my soul does, and it's like I get an upgrade immediately. But she talks about this concept of authenticity that just blew me open. And I think that it has really elevated a lot of things for me in the past little while. But I recommend you go and check it out. I'm not going to try to explain what she's explaining, but she she's introducing the concept that what you think is authentic, what we've been calling authentic in society. So the idea of like, yeah, I speak my mind, I say my truth, that is not true authenticity. And that true authenticity is like your real state of your soul's being. It is a place that you step into when you are not performing, when you are not needing approval, when you are not looking to be liked or loved, when it is a pure state below our kind of like base desires to have all these like needs met by others. And I love this concept. And the thing that I love the most about this concept is that it sets you free. So one of the things that I noticed for myself, I'm just going to speak for myself, what not being in my authenticity brought me was not me stepping into my true gift, whatever my true gift is. So in my need, one of my things is I really love, I love the approval of my, not my elders, of my, of like people I look up to. I love their approval. Like, so I love when my coaches are like, you did a great job. And I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that. And I'm not saying that it's not lovely when they give it to me, but I have to check myself and make sure that I'm not performing, that I'm not doing something just for that you did a good job, but that I'm doing it for me and I'm doing it authentically. And I can tell you that I've really been trying to be conscious of that lately. And my growth is like skyrocketing. Honestly, I don't think I would have this podcast if it wasn't for that, because I'm not sure I was able to give myself permission. I was able to move out of that place of like comparison in order to let myself do that. So I'm just going to put this out there today. If you think like you can't start a podcast because so and so and so and so are already doing that topic. Yeah, but maybe they don't talk about that topic the way that you talk about it. Or you know what? Maybe you guys talk about it exactly the same, but some people don't like so and so's voice and they like your voice better. Or maybe it's just completely energetic and there's something that exudes out of you through your speech. Whatever it is, maybe someone hasn't done it in the language that you speak. If there is a book that you want to write, if there is, you know, you want to do art and you just do it. Like, I'm not telling you to give up anything in your life. This is not me saying like quit your job and run. If you want to do that, sure. But this is more whatever it is that you're telling yourself it's not good enough. It won't get the check mark. It won't. Who would want to see that? Who would want to read that? Nobody cares. Just do it for you. Just do it for you. And do it for the you part. Like, who cares what anyone else has to say? If you do it from that place, then it doesn't matter. But then guess what? What if things work out for the best? Like, just as much as you're telling that story where you're thinking like what the worst case scenario is, fine. Okay. But what's the best case scenario? Like, is it possible? And this is where the authenticity piece comes in. Because if you are genuinely doing what you want to do for you, you can't lose because nothing else matters. So everything gets to be a cherry on top. I'm creating this podcast because there are messages, there are things that I need to say. And I don't even know who I'm saying it to, but I need to say it. And other mediums that I found, I was finding that I would make myself too filtered, or I was too focused on how I look, or, you know, or it had to fit into 30 seconds, or it had to. I wanted to find an avenue of a place that allowed for freedom of my soul. So I realized the thing that my soul desires the most is freedom. And for me, there is something that there are things I need to share. There are lessons that my soul has learned, and I want to share them. And I just believe that whoever is meant to find them will find them, and whoever it's meant to interact with, it will interact with. But I can tell you that just doing it, like ever since I created it, just recording these episodes, I feel so bloody good. Like I feel like I'm on fire. I feel lit up. I feel more confident. But why? I didn't win any award. There's nobody that has approved it. As I'm recording this episode right now, I haven't even launched the podcast, and I'm walking on cloud 9. My relationship with my husband has improved. Like I think he can feel whatever is exuding out of me. Things at my job, oh my gosh, I'll do that in another episode. Things at my job are amazing. Like I am having the most amazing sessions with my patients. Like I've stepped into, through my creative avenue. Human beings are creative. There's an element of all of us. There's an aspect of all of us. And I think it's Tony Robbins who talks about like that there's like 6 things that all humans need. And I don't know what they are. Go look that up. But one of them is creativity, and I believe it. And I have always been one of those artistic adjacent people. Like I've been always like obsessed with different. My best friend is an artist, and I'm annoyingly her biggest fan. Like annoyingly, like she's so good. She's so amazing. I've always wondered what would it be like to be in her body and be her hands as she paints? Like how does she create these things? I'm obsessed with this thing that comes out of people. And all this while I've been obsessed with it, I've been an artist, and I just wasn't calling myself an artist. I don't know what kind of artist I am. Maybe I'll call it a spiritual artist. But the way that I delve into inner work and the things that come out of me and the way that I'm able to guide people, this is from what they've told me. The way that I'm able to see what someone needs to hear in that moment, or reflect to them what they're not seeing within themselves in that moment, is art. And I know it's art because what I feel inside my body is like, it's like my soul is glowing, and it comes out of my skin, comes out of my eyes, my heart. I feel just amazing. It just feels really good. To me, I realize it feels like looking at that painting that I put my heart and soul into. That is enough. That's genuinely enough for me. If I just even simply look at the fallout of what has happened, and I haven't even launched this podcast yet, but every single episode that I record, I swear I'm growing wings. Like what I feel in my body, what I feel about who I am, about myself, my sense of my self-esteem, my purpose, meaning. There's a reason I call this podcast Love and Meaning. And it is so interesting that I have stepped further into my understanding of love and meaning since I started the podcast. And that is because I'm living and breathing and being love and meaning as I sit here and record this right now. So for anyone out there, if there's a thing that you want to do and it's just because it feels, what makes you feel lit up? Like, what is it? Can you do it for you? Can you do it? Can you just start there? And I'm not saying everybody has to do it like me, but if I'm one, I know there are more people out there like me. Can you do it for you? Can you just do it for you? Whatever that thing is, and then just go from there. Just do that part. Just for what it makes you feel. Just for the way that it puts that pep in your step. Like, I swear I'm standing taller. I'm smiling at so many strangers on the street, like for no reason. Guys, the other day, this woman, this server at the restaurant, my husband and I went to a restaurant. When we got up and we left, she ran out of the restaurant and she hugged me. Why did the server hug me? I don't know her like that. And these kind of things have been happening to me. When my husband and I were on our honeymoon in South Africa just a couple weeks ago, it was Valentine's Day. On Valentine's Day, we were walking in town. We're walking in like downtown area in Cape Town, because we were looking for a restaurant. We didn't even make reservations. We were so like unprepared, and we were looking for a restaurant to go to. Oh my god! And that night turned out it was so glorious. My husband's the freaking best. Anyways, we're walking by all these restaurants, right? And we can't like even get a seat anywhere. And there was a place that literally told us we can't sit. Like we went there and we couldn't sit down. But a woman, one of the servers in there, just walked outside. So we're walking away again, walked outside and just handed me a flower. And she looked in my eyes and she smiled at me. And then she walked back inside. There were so many other people there. She didn't give a flower to anyone else. I just started to bawl my eyes out. So this is what I'm talking about. Do it for you. I started doing this for me. I stepped into a place where I realized like I'm an artist and I'm going to set my craft free and let it just kind of like be birthed and become its own entity. And in doing that, I have felt my heart and my soul just evolve. Like I feel like a phoenix, that a phoenix rising. And I can see the ripple unfold in the people that I encounter in my life all around me. So I think I was meant to record this for anybody out there, even if you already started, if you just started a business or you started your craft, but you're kind of trying to fit yourself into a box, like you're trying to fit yourself into a label, or you're trying to monetize yourself in a certain way, or you're trying to force it because this is how it's supposed to be done, or you're listening to the algorithm, whatever it is. I don't know exactly what your situation is, but I have a feeling that when you hear this message, the answer will come to you. Whatever that thing is that you've been pushing down, that you've been holding back on, that you've been not giving yourself permission to fully step into, just let it free. Just let it free. Let it be what it wants. And on the other end of this other aspect that I've realized is the unknown part. Embrace unknown. Just embrace it. It is so okay to not know anything, to not know why you're doing it, to not know how you're going to do it, to not know how it might make you money, or if it might make you money, or whether that even matters or not, to not know what to call yourself. I don't know what to call myself. To not know who your audience is, to not know anything. Embrace it. Don't let it stop you. You don't need to know. There are parts, I promise you right now, that you do know, and look for the parts that you do know and start there. Even things like having the people who will help you into that next step come to you. Oftentimes that energetic opening, that invitation into the universe to bring that person to you, that next step, that part 2 person in your process, sometimes they don't even come to you until you just get out there with what you do know and all the other parts unknown. And then the perfect person steps in and they're just like, I know what you need. And you didn't even know you needed the person. This is happening to me right now. So just trust me. Just set yourself free. For anyone else whose soul blueprint loves and is longing for freedom, there is a thing inside of you that you are creating. We are all artists. We all have something that we create, that our heart and our souls are longing to create. Let it free. Just let it free and enter into your true authenticity. I love you all. See you in the next one.